Dear friends, welcome to this week's edition of the Inspired Parsha. This week we have the incredible privilege to read through Parshat Pinchas. And like every Parsha in the Torah, there's so many beautiful, rich Torah ideas, especially in the Hasidic world. But I just want to focus on one pasuk, one verse. It's actually two verses. This is in Pinchas, this is in chapter 27, verse 16. God had told Moses that his life was coming to an end. And what does Moshe say back? He says, Moses said, Yifkod Hashem Elokei Ruchos, let the Lord, the God of the spirits, L'chol basar, of all flesh, Ish al ha'eda, a man over the congregation, Asher yetze lifneim, shall go up before them, Asher yavo lifneim, who shall come in before them, Asher yotziim, Asher yaviim, someone will lead them, bring them in, meaning into the land of Israel, below Tia Edes Hashem, so that the congregation of Hashem, Katson, Asher Ein Lehem Roa, should not be like a sheep which has no shepherd. This is a beautiful imagery. Of course, Moses was a shepherd. All the great Jewish leaders were shepherds. Shepherds know, of course, that when one sheep escapes, they have an eye on all of them. If one sheep escapes, they find that sheep that's lost, and bring them back into the flock. But this is the amazing thing about this, and this is from the Levi Yitzchak Berditchev. He says that it's amazing. The first thing that Moshe said wasn't about himself when he found out his life was coming to an end. It was right away about the Jewish people, and he was asking, who will take over my mission? We've talked a lot about great leadership, and Moshe, of course, was the quintessential leader. And what made him so special is that he knew this wasn't about himself. And it wasn't that he had a mission previously. He understood that this was an ongoing mission to fulfill the destiny of the Jewish people. So he right away asked, he said, God, who is going to become the new shepherd to take over the flock? We need someone else. We need someone new. And it's interesting that the Levi Yitzchak points out that he says, God, the God of all flesh, of all the spirits of all flesh. See, a great leader understands the spirits of all flesh. What does that mean? He understands people. He understands he can relate to different types of people. He can speak to them at their level. That's one of the things that made Moshe so special. He wasn't just this great who was like a king on a pedestal that you had to ask and get permission to speak to him. He understood people, and he could relate to all people. He could relate to all types of Jews. This is what made Moshe so special. It wasn't focused about himself. It was a focus on the mission. Who will continue the mission? And not only that, to understand that a great leader knows that the spirit of all flesh, knows what the insides of all flesh, And who would it be? It, of course, would be Yeshua, and Yeshua actually did have those qualities. But we see so much what great leadership is all about. I've always said this, that in some ways we're all leaders. It doesn't mean that we have to have a huge following and be able to stand with a microphone and speak in front of thousands of people. We're all leaders in our own way, whether it's our family, our friends, our own circle of influence. And we all have the ability to take this message that we learned from Moshe. It's not about us, it's about continuing the mission. The greatest type of legacy is how people grew because of you, and how much they continue to grow afterwards because of you. I want to wish everyone a bracha, a blessing, to remember these messages of leadership, to remember that we all have great qualities of leadership inside of ourselves, and to remember that we're all part of the link in the chain of the Jewish people. We all want to continue the mission of the Jewish people. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos.